The Christmas Book Flood, written by Emily Kilgore, pictures by Kitty Moss. Darkness blankets the land, covering forests and homes, mountains and bookshops. Overhead, northern lights dance and curtsy across a cold, black sky. Families snuggle in their homes, sprinkling the autumn terrain with pockets of warmth. Soon, snow will fly as the book flood draws closer. On the 24th of December, people gift books as a sign of love, of hope, during a dark time of year. Reading is magic when you have the right book. So people plan and they dream, they sneak and they search for books to give to loved ones and families and friends. With jittery wonder, they scan over covers and circle their favorites. It's almost time. So many new books. It's so hard to choose. Stories to get lost in, to laugh at, to share. Big books, small ones, thick and thin. New tales, old histories, fantastic and true. People face winter's bite and rush to the store under street lamps that show off the twirling snowflakes. There's laughter and hope and holiday cheer, bright twinkling lights, hot cocoa, soft music, clouds of warm breath, tight hugs of hello, the soft crunch under boots as they trudge through fresh snow. The strong smell of books unfurls at the door, a gush of excitement, just hours remain. Shoppers glide through the aisles of towering shelves. They whisper and giggle and bubble with glee. A clock chimes nearby. It's time to head home. But then, at long last, a surge of relief. Could it be that one there, tucked just out of sight? Yes, that magical book to bring loved ones joy. Clutching bags closely, their thrill overflowing. People hurry and scurry through carols and bells, and rush the books home, wrap them as gifts, and wait. Then finally, it's finally time. Families gather together. Love billows and swells. They pull back the tape, untangle the ribbons, then pore over treasures and marvel together. New worlds and adventures, etched across pages, bound between covers. As stars glitter above and light fills the room, now it is time for the best part of all. With blankets and pillows, loved ones and warmth, they sip their hot chocolate and read, 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 read. The book flood spreads. Author's note. When I was young, my dad went on a writing trip to Iceland. He came home with stories that seemed otherworldly. Houses built at the base of volcanoes, steam spewing out of geysers, an endless sky where the sun never once set during his summer stay. Before my dad's trip, I thought Iceland was a frozen place, locked in ice, cold, uninhabitable, scary. But after his visit, I was curious, intrigued. It became a place I wanted to visit someday too. Years later, I am lucky enough to have visited Iceland several times. It is every bit as wonderful as I had hoped as a child. So when I first heard about Jólabókaflóð, the Christmas book flood, an Icelandic tradition that centers around the magic of books and a love of reading, I wanted to learn everything I possibly could. Then, when I was living in Sweden, my book fairy godmother and literary agent, Adria Goetz, put out a call for someone to write a picture book about the tradition. I practically screamed from the other side of the world, "Pick me, pick me, pick me! I want to write about it!" And so this book was born. Iceland isn't the only place where people give books on Christmas Eve. What makes the Icelandic tradition unique, though, is how many people gift books and what they do after opening them. With a bar of chocolate or a mug of hot cocoa, people read all night long. The Jólabókaflóð tradition started years ago during World War II. At that time, certain items such as bacon, cheese, milk, and clothing were rationed, meaning people could only have small amounts of those items. Paper, however, was one of the few items that were not rationed in Iceland, so books could still be published aplenty. Publishers began releasing books in only the few months leading up to Christmas. It was cheaper to produce them all at once than many times throughout the year. They built excitement by advertising the new releases in the book bulletin. Like a magazine, the book bulletin showed books that would be published soon, books that readers could order or find in a bookshop. And so people researched their options, went to their bookstores and bought their stories to gift their loved ones when little else was available to give. The war was dark and scary and took so many things away. But sharing a love of books became an act of hope and resilience. Even after the war ended, Icelanders continued giving books at Christmas time. To this day, most books in Iceland are still released between October and December. Today, Jólabókaflóð is a tradition that's spreading to people and places outside of Iceland. In 2015, a businessman named Christopher Norris introduced a version of it in the United Kingdom. Then, in 2017, the tradition was presented to the global community at the London Book Fair, a place where people from around the world gather to celebrate books. Readers became enamored with the Icelandic idea of curling up with a new book on Christmas Eve. The Christmas book flood continues to spread as more and more people join the tradition each year. Will it reach you?